maximize everybody's time this busy Monday morning. First of all, I want to thank you all for being available for this special called meeting this morning. As you know, we are going to undertake three important pieces of business. The first is to review and consider the recommendation of the Chancellor for the next president at Northeast State Community College. And then, of course, we have to consider criteria for the next presidents of both our TCAT at Athens and TCAT Murfreesboro, which we did not anticipate, and we can talk about that in a little bit too. I want to welcome any media that may be on the call, other officials, folks from the Northeast State community, and anyone else who may be joining us and watching the live stream. I want to transact just a couple of announcements before we move into the roll call. Since we last met in our quarterly meeting, the governor has made two appointments to the Board of Regents, and we welcome them both. John Lee is our new faculty regent. He is from the TCAT at Elizabethton. He could not be with us today. He had a prior commitment, but we will meet him very soon. He is an industry training coordinator and a certified diesel power equipment instruction up in Elizabethton, as I mentioned. Of course, like so many of our excellent faculty at our TCATs, he came out of private industry, having worked at two automobile dealerships in the Tri-Cities area, so that practical experience is so important in our classroom settings. I'm also proud to report that he earned his associate's degree from Northeast State, his bachelor's degree from Pittsburgh State University in Kansas. And most importantly, Regent Lee was our TCAT, TCAT Staff Member of the Year at our SOAR Awards in 2020. Of course, he will spend this first year in that non-voting capacity, and then become a voting regent in the following year. But welcome to Regent Lee, and we'll look forward to seeing him in person soon. But we do have on with us today our new student regent, the second of Governor Lee's appointments, and we welcome John Long. John is an electromechanical technology student at the TCAT Hohenwald. But importantly, he too has experience at the community college level. He is a graduate from Columbia State, so he wears both hats, if you will, in the student regent role. John comes out of an interesting family background with his father, who was a high school mathematics teacher. His sister is a sixth grade English teacher, and his mother is one of our employees at Columbia State, which is so significant. So this is really a family affair for John Long's family. John, what else would you like for us to know about you? And welcome.
I'm just checking. Can everybody hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for having me, and thank you for this extraordinary commitment that y'all let me have. And I'm honored and very optimistic about this following year.
So, well, we are honored to have you, and we are optimistic as well, because the student perspective is always so important for us to hear. So we will look forward to meeting you in September.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, John. And just like Mark George and Mark Gill, now with John Lee and John Long, I have two sets of similar initials. So you'll just have to put up with the confusion along the way, right? So, but thank you, John. We're so glad you're here.
Thank you.
Thank you. In other news, of course, and I don't know if he's joined us yet, but we congratulate Regent Wamp for his successful run. I think he takes office officially as the incoming county mayor in Hamilton County on September 1. So no doubt he's a very busy guy, and we once again want to congratulate him and know he'll do great things in that job. Yes.
A question right quick, if you don't mind. Will he be able to continue to serve as a regent?
My understanding is, and Brian Laps, correct me, we don't have any policy that would preclude him from serving. The decision is really his to make, if I understand correctly.
Yes, Madam Chair, this is Brian Laps. That is correct. It's his decision, as well as the board's, if the board were to identify a conflict of interest, but there's no statute or firm requirement. It's up to Regent Wamp and the board.
Good, because enjoy working with Regent Wong.
Indeed, indeed. No, he's been very valuable to us. So thanks for asking. We'll see where the journey goes. But again, congratulations to Weston.
Madam Chair, I just saw.
Hey, I made it on. I
Fortune.
just made it on a delay. I'm here.
Oh, good. Weston, did you hear Regent George say he hopes to continue to work with you?
Well, I mean, listen, all of us, it would mean something coming from the rest of this crew, but if I could get the regent from Middle Tennessee to echo those comments, that's what really would mean the most.
Oh, you talking about me?
Here. Oh, I'm talking, Emily, you're delightful. I'm talking about old Krusty Gill.
Oh.
Well, now you'll have to work. If I don't just give those endorsements out, but seeing as how you've won an election in Chattanooga, I would say, yeah, I will hand one of those out.
Yeah. Sounds like Regent Womp's making a motion here.
That is hilarious. Well, we know
I'll
you've got.
second it.
Aw, there you go. Brian.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is not an agenda item. So guide me here, since I have a motion and a second on that.
Well, because it's not on the special agenda meeting. Yeah. We obviously have to stick to what is the agenda. So I was assuming that was it would be better if that were not any formal action by the board to take, but rather just some preliminary matter.
Thank you. So Regent Womp, I think you hear the consensus of the group, certainly, in our desire to have you, if you can see your way clear. We know it's a busy time, but to have you to continue your service with us.
Yeah, today's meeting's not about me, but I'm grateful for those of you who have shared that sentiment, and I'd be absolutely honored to stick around for as long as you'd all have me, at least for the remainder of the term that I'm on. But certainly, it would be privileged to continue to work with you guys, even in my new capacity.
Thank you. So no, and we are all excited for you. So congratulations, and to your family. It was a big night for the Womp family.
Yes, it was. Yeah, my parents deserve a long vacation after what we put into this.
Give them our best. So we're proud to know you. This will also be, as you guys know, our first meeting without our friend and colleague, Greg Duckett. And I know everyone has reached out to Greg to express their congratulations to him for a new role that the governor smartly asked him to take on, and that's serving on the Health Services Development Agency. So as much as we will miss him, he is still serving a very valuable role to our state. So all the best to Greg. And one other piece of news that I wanted to share with you guys, the governor has appointed one of our students in our system as the student representative to Dr. House's organization, to the Tennessee Higher Education Committee. His name is Andrew Kingsolver, and he is one of our students at Roane State. He has a very strong academic record. He was on Roane State Student Government Association. So Regent House, we're just so proud of Andrew's appointment and the fact that the TBR system will be represented in our new student representative at THEC.
Yes, thank you, Madam Vice Chair. His first meeting was about 2 weeks ago, the end of July, and he is already jumping in with both feet and made great contributions and had great questions. So he will be wonderful to work with this year.
Excellent, excellent. So with all of that news, you guys, let's make it official and call the meeting officially to order with Secretary Perry calling the roll, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In accordance with TCA 844-108C3, there are 2 questions that need to be answered by regents for the record. First, can the regent simultaneously hear and speak with others participating in the meeting? And second, is the regent alone in the room? If the answer to both questions is yes, the regent can simply answer yes to both questions. Anyone who is not alone should identify any other people present in the room with the regent. When I call your name, please answer these 2 questions. Governor Lee, Regent Apple, Regent Burdine,
Here and yes to both questions.
Regent George,
Here, yes to both questions.
Regent Gill,
Here, yes to both questions.
Regent Green,
Here and yes to both questions.
Commissioner Hatcher,
Yes to both questions.
Regent House,
Here, yes to both questions.
Regent Lee, Regent Long,
Here and yes to both questions.
Regent Powers,
Here and yes to both questions.
Vice Chair Reynolds,
Here and yes to both.
Commissioner Schwinn, Regent Shelton,
Here and yes to both questions.
Regent Varlin,
Here and yes to both.
Regent Wamp,
Here and yes to both.
and Regent White.
Here, yes, and yes.
Madam Chair, your board is assembled and you have a quorum, and also the candidate being recommended is on the line with us.
Great, thank you. You guys will also recall this next process, this next step we have to take. Of course, we were asked to meet electronically today to review these 3 items. Given the limited time between the selection of the candidate for Northeast State and the desired start date for the job, as well as the need to initiate the search for both the TCAT Athens and Murfreesboro, the assembly of a quorum to be physically present was simply not practicable. Given that this necessity to meet electronically is now a non-controversial and a routine item for us, I propose that the necessity to meet electronically be adopted by unanimous consent. But of course, if there's anyone who feels that we need an individual vote on this, please feel free to object, in which case we will call the roll again. Hearing no objection, the necessity to meet electronically is adopted by unanimous consent. Thank you all. So now let's really get down to business with these 3 items. And the first is to receive and act on the Chancellor's recommendation for the presidency at Northeast State Community College. Chancellor?
Thank you, Madam Chair. As each of you will recall, the board approved the search criteria for the next president at Northeast State Community College at our March board meeting. I want to truly thank Regent Miles Burdine, who served as chair of the search committee, and our other 2 board members, Vice Chair Emily Reynolds and Regent Danny Barlin, who also served on the committee, as well as representatives of the college faculty, staff, students, alumni, and local civic and industry leaders. This committee always had the very best interest of Northeast State at heart, and they did an incredible job in their selection. I want to truly thank each of them for their support and their commitment to this process and the 80+ resumes that they read for this particular position. I'd also like to recognize Academic Search and thank them, specifically Dr. Gwen Joseph and Disa Mason, for their work in guiding our search. Also, Stephanie Barham from Northeast State and Marianne Hammonds from DBR, who kept all of the paperwork and handling the process as smooth as possible for each of our members of the committee. Madam Chair, after careful review of the applicants, interviews, and input from the Search Advisory Committee, I am more than pleased to recommend to you today Dr. Jeff McCord as the next president of Northeast State Community College. Dr. McCord is currently Commissioner of the Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development. Prior to this appointment as Commissioner in January of 2019, he served for 7 years as Northeast State's Vice President for Economic and Workforce Development, following a very successful 16-year career in leadership at Eastman Chemical Company in Kingsport. He earned a Doctorate of Education in Learning and Leadership at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, a Master of Business Administration with a concentration in Information Systems at Kennesaw State University in Georgia, and a Bachelor of Science in Management from the Georgia Institute of Technology. Madam Chair, it is my honor today to recommend to you Dr. Jeff McCord.
Thank you, Chancellor, for an excellent recommendation. And at this time, I'd like to call on Regent Miles Burdine, whom, as you just said, did such a great job, and not surprisingly, always a leader, but such a great job in leading this search. Regent Burdine.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Dr. Jeff McCord is one of 4 finalists chosen by the Presidential Search Advisory Committee from 58 applicants from around the country. Search Committee held its first meeting on April 27th. Then on 10 June, the committee met to consider and select candidates for round 1 interviews. 11 candidates were interviewed on June 20 and 21. As a result of the interviews, 4 candidates participated in on-campus interviews 11 through 14 July. Now, we do want to say that all 4 of those candidates were excellent candidates, very well qualified, and we're pleased that they all decided to show up and participate in the interview process. Madam Chair, it's my sincere pleasure and honor to serve as chair of this search committee. Our community, our region is so excited to welcome back Dr. Jeff McCord. I support Chancellor Tiding's recommendation and make a motion to hire Dr. Jeff McCord as the next president of our Northeast State Community College.
We have a motion. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Regent Gill. Any other comments? Regent Varlin, you may want to chime in, having been a member of the search committee.
I do. I am thrilled. And I'm going to say, this search had a lot of good candidates. We were blessed to have candidates from different places. Some had connections, some didn't, but they were all very well qualified, really great people. But Jeff, we got you, and we're so thrilled to welcome you back home. But it was a really good search. I feel like we are so blessed in Tennessee to get these candidates. That's all there is to it. And thankful to have somebody like Jeff, who is bringing home so much experience. So just thrilled to have been on this search committee.
Well said. Any others?
Yeah, this is Charlie Hatcher. Is there any way I can derail this thing for selfish reasons? If I vote no, it won't matter, will it?
You cannot vote no. Just think you still get to work with him.
Okay, I'm just kidding. He's an outstanding person and leader. It's an excellent fit. I'm happy for him.
Oh, that's very nice, Regent Hatcher, and we understand. We understand. So, and we're just so grateful to the governor and the team for giving us this opportunity as well. Any others?
Chair Reynolds, this is Regent Gill. If I could just address Jeff directly. Jeff, I think that it's fortuitous to have someone as your background, as Regent Varlin said. You have seen a lot of the board, and having come from the area where workforce development and your commissionership, you have especially seen the end of the road, and then you've known it for some time because you've been there pushing ahead. But I would be remiss if I didn't express my excitement at seeing that experience and that knowledge and that real world education effort coming into play. If I tried to hide my excitement on that showing up in of secondary education, I think that you've got a great opportunity there, and you are the right person to go there and take secondary education. It's post-secondary education into a new realm. So best of luck, and thanks for being willing to take this on.
Well said. So with that, if there are no other comments, we have a motion and a second. Appreciate the excellent discussion. If there are no objections at this point or additional comments, I'd like to ask Secretary Perry once again to call the roll, and let's make this official.
Regent Burdine.
Aye.
Regent George.
Aye.
Regent Gill.
Aye.
Regent Green.
Aye.
Commissioner Hatcher.
Aye.
Regent Long.
Aye.
Regent Powers.
Aye.
Vice Chair Reynolds.
Aye.
Regent Shelton.
Aye.
Regent Barlin.
Aye.
Regent Wamp.
Aye.
And Regent White.
Aye.
The motion carries unanimously.
Yes, it did. We even got Commissioner Hatcher over the finish line there. Oh, congratulations, Commissioner, soon to be President McCord. We welcome you and CG home, and we'd love to have your comments.
Hey, thank you so very much. And well, let me do this first. Thanks to the Chancellor for the recommendation and for the board for having the faith and confidence in me to go serve alongside the folks at Northeast State as they serve the region. It's no secret to the folks that I know in Nashville how special I think Northeast Tennessee is. And central to that is Northeast State. And there's just tremendous potential in our region. And I truly believe that the region's counting on Northeast State to help it realize that potential. So I'm humbled, I'm honored. I'm ready not to be the center of attention, would be soon anyway. And so we can move forward and get to work. So just thank you once again.
Oh, we are very excited, and I know the whole community, as Regent Burdine said, is excited. I know you feel this way as well, but our profound thanks to Connie Marshall for stepping into the interim role. She has been a steady hand over these past few months, and you two know each other and will continue to work so well together. So, but we're very excited. I know this is a loss to Governor Lee and the administration, but again, we're just so grateful to have, as Mark said, to have the experience you're now bringing back to us as part of the system. So this is a very exciting day. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank
Welcome
you.
home, Jeff.
And you'll still be the center of attention. Oh, good to see you, Jeff. This is exciting. Now we have to resume our searches, if you will. We've had a retirement at the TCAT Athens. Chancellor, I will call on you for our second item of business today, please, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. President Stuart Smith did indicate to me that he intends to retire on December 31st, 2022. The draft criteria for the next president of TCAT Athens was included in the special call board meeting materials that you each received. Regent Danny Varlin has graciously agreed to serve as chair for this search, having just completed the Northeast search. We're so thankful to you, Danny, for stepping up again. Joining her will be Regent Tom White, and again, our faculty regent, Ramona Shelton, will be joining us for this search. So thanks to all of you. We are working on the additional committee members and will announce them in the near future. Madam Chair, unless there are any questions, I would respectfully ask approval of the proposed criteria for the next president at TCAT Athens.
Any questions or comments for the Chancellor? Hearing none, we will need a motion to approve the criteria as we begin the search for the next president at the TCAT Athens.
I'll make that motion. This is Danny Varlin.
Thank you, Regent Varlin, and thanks again for stepping up to the plate.
And I'll second. It's Tom.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Regent White, and thanks to you for joining us as well, and Regent Shelton on the committee. Any other comments? Hearing none, let's make this one official as well by asking Mariah to call the roll one more time for us, please.
Regent Burdine.
Aye.
Regent George.
Aye.
Regent Gill,
Aye.
Regent Green,
Aye.
Commissioner Hatcher,
Aye.
Regent Long,
Aye.
Regent Powers,
Aye.
Vice Chair Reynolds,
Aye.
Regent Shelton,
Aye.
Regent Barlin,
Aye.
Regent Wamp,
Aye.
and Regent White.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. So more to come on that search, and we'll also have an opportunity to honor Stuart Smith too prior to his departure. Chancellor and I just learned the other day this was a family affair for the Smiths as well. Stuart's father had been president. Was it the TCAT Livingston, Chancellor?
Yes.
Yeah.
He had served as president there.
So a great family legacy for Stuart and his dad in our TCAT system. And next, as I mentioned, the surprise that we had with a retirement from Carol Puryear, who I know we all think so highly of. Carol is leaving us at the end of September. So I will call on the Chancellor to talk with us about that search, and importantly for you all to consider the criteria for the President's role at the TCAT Murfreesboro.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, we have a very short timeline here. So again, we did need to put this in for you to vote on today. The draft criteria for the next president of TCAT Murfreesboro was included in your meeting materials that you've received. We are currently in the process of putting together a search committee, and I will update you on those membership as we move forward. Madam Chair, unless there are any questions, I respectfully ask for approval of the proposed criteria for the next president at TCAT Murfreesboro.
Any questions for the Chancellor on this one? If not, we will need a motion to approve.
So moved, regrettably, so moved. Yolanda.
Oh, I know. Thank you, Regent Green. and I think I heard another voice there too. Was that Regent Gill?
I'll second.
Okay. Oh, that was Regent Burdine. Thank you. So we have a motion and a second, albeit regretfully, as Regent Green said. Any other comments with regard to approving this criteria for the search at the TCAT Murfreesboro? And once again, we'll have an opportunity to honor Carol as well in the coming weeks. If there are no other comments, Mariah, would you do us a favor once again and call the roll, please, ma'am?
Regent Burdine,
Aye.
Regent George,
Aye.
Regent Gill,
Aye.
Regent Green,
Aye.
Commissioner Hatcher,
Aye.
Regent Long,
Aye.
Regent Powers,
Aye.
Vice Chair Reynolds,
Aye.
Regent Shelton,
Aye.
Regent Barlin,
Aye.
Regent Wamp,
Aye.
and Regent White.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Thank you very much. Well, thanks to everybody for making time to join us this morning, and again, transacting 3 exciting pieces of business, most especially confirming the Chancellor's recommendation for Commissioner McCord as our next president at Northeast State. Chancellor, do you have any other comments or announcements for us this morning?
Yes, Madam Chair. I would like to just make one quick announcement. If everyone would please keep Cliff Whiteman in their thoughts and prayers. He had an accident with a pistol on Saturday. He was accidentally shot in the stomach. He is at Vanderbilt, has had surgery, is in recovery, and is expected to have a full recovery. Everything seems to be going well, but please just keep him in your thoughts and prayers as we move forward.
Oh, thank you,
Chancellor,
Chancellor.
can we get a home address or something to send a card to him, please?
Yes,
From
ma'am.
Mariah.
We will get that out to you.
Great idea. Thank you, Regent Barlin. We will next assemble on Wednesday, September 7 for our committee chairs meeting. And Mariah, that's at what, 8:30?
Time is to be determined, but it will be that morning.
Okay, the morning period. All right, thank you. All right, thank you very much. And then we all get to physically be together at Pellissippi State later in September, which I know we're all looking forward to. Does anyone else have anything to come before the board? If not, once again, thank you. And if there are no objections, we stand adjourned. Have a great week, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.